So, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of... What are we going to say?
I don't know, dude. Would you look at us? Because, I mean, we're setting records, right?
Okay, good point, Dante, but
That's true.
Not just yet. But I was going to say, welcome back to another episode of Power!
Exactly.
Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, okay, so, dude, let's do our introductions.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, sitting next to me is the one and only ladies lover himself, Mr. Junior Hef. Or also, you can call him Mr.
Or I'm also known as Mr.
Exactly. Another sound effect that we got.
Yes, we updated our Mortal Kombat sound effects, so now we do have the new finish him from Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out
and
to
we're
you,
gonna try and get
Boone.
we're gonna try and get Ed Boone on the show.
Yes, yeah. It would be Ed Boone if you're out there. We want to have you on the podcast, so please hit us up if you are. We have a Discord, so if you want to hit us up through Discord, please hit us up through Discord.
By the way, dude, aren't you gonna introduce me?
Yes. Also, if you guys didn't know, this over here is DJ Lewis or Dante. And dude, did you say my name when you introduced me, or did you just introduce me as
Mr. Junior Hef? Yes, I did.
Dude, come on, you gotta say my name, Dante.
Oh, I'm sorry
People
about
can't,
that. Okay.
People
So,
think I'm Junior Hef.
While he may be known as Mr. Junior Hef to me, he's also known as Aaron A. Goldman. Or just A. Goldman.
Or as you'd call me, Mr. Laughs a Lot.
Yeah, that would be him.
That's me. Anyway, but this over here is the one and only Avid Mindset, as he's known as on Spotify.
iTunes, check it out.
Yeah, but he's also Mr.
Express
and Fluffy.
Yes.
But his actual name is Dante, or DJ Lewis. If you want to call him DJ Lewis, you can do that.
Yep.
But his actual name is Dante, and he is our head writer, and also our Mr.
Yeah, I do.
Sometimes.
That would be him sometimes.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, dude. Let me ask you something.
Oh, jeez.
Let me ask you something.
What?
Are you ready for some big time powered action, I guess?
Well, yeah, but dude, I feel like there's something that we should say before that. You ready for this, dude? Okay.
I'm
In
ready.
3, 2, 1. It's like, would you look at us? We're setting records. Anyway, so if that didn't give us away as to what we're going to be doing this episode, Dante, would you let our audience know?
Yes.
It's time for a little...
It actually is going to be kind for a little more.
Bit, yeah.
Among the fandom, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this one, we are going to be breaking down the difference between Gogeta
and Vegito.
Exactly.
Yeah. And actually, you know what, dude? Just here's a little snidbit. Since we're going to be doing this, right? And because we said their names, Gogeta and Vegeta, or I'm sorry, Gogeta and Vegito.
Gogeta and Vegito.
Yeah. Here's a little snidbit of a little audio clip from the actual Dragon Ball Z. So here we go.
Super Vegito. So is that your official new name?
That's so funny.
We have such great titles now,
don't we?
Super Vegito.
Super Vegito. We might as
So
well
just say we're invincible. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, so with that, guys, let's get started. Dude, what are some of the things you want to break down? Because, dude, you wrote an article... It was 2019, right?
Yeah, this one I wrote in March 4th of 2019. It's basically a Dragon Ball breakdown of Gogeta and Vegeta. Their strengths, their weaknesses, their power levels, and what they can do.
Yes, and now there's been a lot of fan-done videos on this and also breakdowns on this. So if this seems familiar, guys, just know that it's been done before.
Yeah, this is kind of
just like our version of it, right?
Yeah, right. This is literally one of the most debatable topics that's still being talked about to this very day. So no matter what game you play, whether it be Xenoverse,
yeah, I mean,
Xenoverse
dude,
3,
people have even done Super Saiyan 4 breakdowns of Super Saiyan 4 versus Super Saiyan Blue. So there's been a lot of breakdowns on these different things. Oh, and also Death Battle. If you're watching, take notes. Because, this might be a good Death Battle episode. Just saying.
I don't think they did one yet. But
yeah, I don't think they have either. I don't know if they've done.
No,
Fusion Death Battle.
That would be interesting.
That would be kind of cool, yeah.
That would
Fusion
be
Battle.
really interesting if they did that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Gogeta and Vegito. So, yeah.
Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Get ready for some...
And if you're not careful, either one or two of them might even
finish you. Yeah,
exactly. All right, so let's get started with the first one. That would be Gogeta.
Hey, Dante, I hate to say this, but this is going to be a debate.
It probably will be. It probably will be. So yeah, Gogeta, I think the first time we met him was Fusion Reborn when he fought Janemba. You remember that one?
Yeah, that was way back. Dude, when was that? That was in the 90s,
that was actually the Fusion Reborn saga. Yeah. It was actually back in the 90s.
90s, yeah. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, it was in the 90s. So that was the first time they did that, and that was the first time you saw him use that crazy
dance techniques.
Yeah, well, also the dance, the fusion technique, but also the
Stardust Destroyer.
Stardust Breaker. Stardust Breaker. Yeah. Stardust Destroyer. That sounds like the thing from JoJo.
Okay, now you're starting to sound like a JoJo fan.
That was funny. No, we're not talking about JoJo, but maybe
I thought you said Stardust Crusaders.
Maybe that might come up in another episode.
Maybe, just maybe.
Anyway, but yeah, now was the first time we saw like the power of. That was the first time we saw that kind of power, right?
Right.
But remember, Vegito also has some pretty crazy power because we saw him fight against Broly in the Broly movie, which was really crazy. Vegeta Blue and everything.
Yeah, actually Gogeta Blue.
Yeah, Gogeta Blue. So yeah.
Yeah, Vegito actually fought against Majin Buu and eventually Zamatsu.
Fused Zamatsu. Yeah,
fused Zamatsu.
Yeah.
But basically. The first one is Fusion Dance, which Vegeta hated.
Fusion! Yeah, exactly.
Now, guys, we tried this earlier, and unfortunately...
It didn't work. We got the fingers all right. If we fused, it would be some pudgy, chunky, weird thing.
So if you guys want to watch the horribly did one that we did, it's up on YouTube. Go watch it. It's under our shorts.
Note to our fans, it is very hard to actually do those poses and get it perfect. Like, you got to be in sync.
Yes, you have to be in sync, and you can't be too far apart, just like Piccolo said.
Exactly. And I think we were too far apart.
Yeah, we were.
Our fingers were way off.
Yeah. Mine was right here, and yours was like.
We were like this.
Yeah, exactly.
We fused fingers instead of fused together.
We couldn't even get our toes in sync when that happened.
It was a mess, guys. Go watch that short. It was funny.
So definitely watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. So are you ready to get into the first strength of the mighty Vegito?
Blue? Possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say, dude. I was gonna say when you're asking me that, I was gonna say this.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, of course. All right, so let's get started to the first strength as Vegito. So the first strength is basically fusion. Now, in order to get Gogeta, you have to make sure that your fingers are absolutely in sync.
Well, remember in
your body too.
Remember in the Broly movie, they did it like once or twice, and
they actually did it right 3 times.
Yeah, the first time. But it's funny. He's like, nope, try again. He's like, wait, it's like 2 hours and try again.
Yeah, Vegeta hated it because it looked like he was dancing like a ballerina. So that was the only thing about it.
Can you imagine if they did can you imagine if Team 4-Star did like a abridged on that? And like they fused. They kept getting it wrong.
That would actually be pretty interesting if they tried to do that. That would actually be funny. Cool. But yeah, basically, in order to do the fusion for Gogeta, you have to make sure that your power levels, your height, and of course your fingers are in sync. If you don't do that, you're going to end up with that fat little pudgy Mr. Farts.
You mean like that funny looking, the funny pudgy face version of him with the chunky, where he's like kind of chunky and like funny.
I am known as Riku.
He kind of. He kind of looks like he kind of looks like Boo, but like only if Boo was like mixed with like Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, in some horrible ice cream freak accident.
It's kind of like if their fusion ate too much ice cream.
Exactly.
It turned into like a pudgy version of Boo.
That's hilarious. But yeah, definitely that's the only strength that Vegito has, because he doesn't have to worry about the fusion because he's already fused with the earrings.
True.
But now we get into the strength as Gogeta, which would be critical thinking. Now, the thing about Vegito is, I think he just goes in and just fights whatever he wants to do. He doesn't really plan out how he's going to defeat his opponent. He just goes in.
I don't think he has to, because remember, Vegito is more of Vegeta
Yeah.
in front and Goku kind of in the background.
I've actually noticed that
because he has more of Vegito's Vegeta's personality in the front,
Goku.
whereas Gogeta is more of Goku's personality
Than Vegeta.
in front than Vegeta. So it depends on how they fuse. You know which
Right.
ones,
And
but But the funny thing about Gogeta is that he's funny. He's also funny because since Goku's personality is in the background, it's Vegeta being serious. But then when he's not being serious, he's goofing off, which is usually Goku. Because in the fight with Super Buu, he's like, "You," and Buu's like, "Would you stop that?
Will you stop that and fight?"
Yeah, that's more of Goku doing the "you."
Exactly.
But yeah,
you see a lot more of Goku's personality in Vegito than you do
in the background. Yeah. It's funny.
but now here comes another one.
The best part when he's just like, "Hey, he's like, fight like a man." He's like, "Do you see a man around?" Yeah, it's good.
That is just hilarious.
Anyway.
But yeah, now we're gonna move on to the strength as Vegito, but weakness as Gogeta, and that would be the time limit.
Yeah.
Now, as your fusion, of course, you get like what, a half an hour?
I think so. Yeah. Well, wait. I think it's with the dance, isn't that? That's
with the dance. Yeah.
Yeah, but the other one, but with them being more powerful now, right, dude? With Goku and Vegeta being more powerful, they only get like 30 minutes in it with the Potara earrings.
Well,
so
actually, the Potara earrings is much longer. I think they stay like that until they get knocked off.
Well, remember the first time they did the fusion with the Potara earrings, they didn't get that long. Because it was against Super Buu that they did the earrings, and they defused after
they immediately
defused
the
barrier in Buu. So they didn't get that long. It was only like 30 minutes to an hour, I think, was as long as they stayed fused. I think I can't remember the exact time, but it was like somewhere in that range.
In their time, the fight was probably like an hour or so. In our time, it was like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah. But I can't remember if they do the fusion dance. I think it's a little bit. I think they stay fused a little bit longer, don't they?
Actually, they stay.
Or is it shorter? I can't remember.
They stay fused for about 30 minutes, depending on how much power they use. If they use more power in that form, then it might be less time.
Yeah.
But I think it was 30 minutes in the original. I think it might be just a little bit longer in the Super one. But it's definitely just 30 minutes. You know
what's an interesting question I have, dude?
Yeah.
Which is weird, and this is something that Dragon Ball Super never clarified. Because Zamasu Zamasu was supposed to be a Supreme Kai.
Yeah.
And they say that the Potara earrings are permanent when it involves the Supreme Kai. Does that mean that him fusing with himself would be a permanent fusion? And also, since he's in Goku's body, how does that work? Like, wouldn't he separate eventually because he's in Goku's body? It's not his body, it's Goku's body.
So I think what happens, so for Zamasu, he actually made that wish during his time.
Yeah.
And ended up in Goku's body when he made...
So how does the fusion work, though? Doesn't that complex... Because technically, Goku's not a Supreme Kai... But technically, Zamasu is, and Zamasu's personality and
but the Zamasu at that time actually stole
Goku's body.
Yeah, the Zamasu at that time actually stole Goku's body.
Yeah. So how does that work, dude? Does the fusion work differently in that case? Like, does that mean that Zamasu in Goku's body would be a permanent fusion if he fused with someone, or no? Would it only be a 30-minute fusion since Goku's a Saiyan?
It would still be a Potara fusion in a sense because just like fuse Zamasu, he still had Goku Black's hairstyle. But for whatever reason,
but that's not really the hairstyle's not really what matters. It's the Supreme Kai, because remember they tell you in Z that anytime it involves a Supreme Kai, the fusion is permanent. Right. But my question is though, right? Because Zamasu was not a full Supreme Kai, yet he was still in training, and he was training to become a Supreme Kai, because he was in Goku's body, because Zamasu was in Goku's body, and Zamasu was supposed to be the next Supreme Kai, wouldn't that make his fusion with himself more permanent because he was supposed to be a Supreme Kai? Does him being in Goku's body have anything to do with the fusion being permanent or only lasting for an hour or 30 minutes or so?
Well, that's what
they never clarified that. Because they said they do say in Z that anytime it includes a Supreme Kai, the fusion is more is permanent. They don't separate.
Well, I think we saw that with the Supreme Kai.
The old Kai and Kabuto Kai. Yeah. But remember, they were in their own bodies, and they were fully Supreme Kais. They had done all the things to become a full Supreme Kai, whereas Zamasu was still in training. It wasn't a full Supreme Kai just yet. But if he had fused, because of the training that he had, and he had Kai's energy, would it have affected his fusion?
That is a very good question.
And since he was in Goku's body, that's an answer for Akira Toriyama. Toriyama, if you're watching this or if you're out there, let us know. Like even if you know yourself, would that be a permanent fusion with Zamasu in Goku's body? And how would that work, or is it not?
How exactly would that work?
So if anyone knows the answer to that, or if anyone looks up stuff on Dragon Ball, I know there's a bunch of Dragon Ball information out there.
The lore is huge.
Lore is huge, so I know there's a bunch. Someone probably could answer that. If you do know the answer to that, or if there is information on that, leave it in the comment section below. Or let us know. Reach out to us on Twitter and let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Or on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, dude, get on what you were saying.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. So, Stardust Breaker, just like we mentioned before. So that is actually Gogeta's. Well, that is actually Gogeta's strength. Vegeta doesn't have that attack.
It's also his. It's also his finishing move, which he uses to.
Exactly.
With the movie with the.
He finishes Janemba, and I think he also hits Broly with it too.
He does, but it doesn't work on Broly because Broly's not truly evil,
Right. Well. Yeah. That actually makes
whereas
sense.
Janemba was really evil.
Yeah,
Janemba
was an evil incarnate.
Yeah,
he
was also pretty bad. So that's like the Spirit Bomb. Spirit Bomb only works on certain opponents that actually have bad intentions.
They have like a pure
whereas like it doesn't work on the Spirit Bomb didn't work on Goku and Super because he's not purely evil.
Exactly.
It blew up and it caused him to his power to kind of go out of control. And it also caused him to trigger Ultra Instinct. But it did not destroy him,
Right.
It tried to because the energy was so big, but it wasn't.
But it couldn't.
It wasn't like what it did to Boo. It couldn't affect him like it does to Boo.
Yeah, either Boo, Vegeta, Frieza. That one time he.
Frieza, yeah. Jeez. Yeah, man, it majorly damaged Frieza. That one's.
What damaged his ego?
Yeah. Anyway, so
also how that turned out.
What else did you want to add to this? Because there was a lot of other information.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the next one would be series canon. Now, this one is kind of debatable depending on how you look at it. Because now that Dragon Ball Super Broly's
well, there's a lot of things that people are debating though, because people are still debating about Super Saiyan 4, whether or not that's canon or not. Some pieces of GT are canon, and also because they brought in Broly and Broly is more canon now. People were debating about whether or not some of that stuff is canon. Right. It's hard to say.
Well, I mean, in terms they've already brought back Vegito and Gogeta in the Dragon Ball Super lore, of course.
True.
Because I mean now I think right now it's just like you mentioned before. They've now canonized Broly.
Yeah, they brought Broly. So
I
think a lot of people were wondering, are they going to bring in more stuff and make it more canon? A lot of the fan base recently has been debating about whether or not certain pieces of Dragon Ball GT are actually canon.
Can actually carry over.
Yeah, can carry over. Like since there's a new movie coming out with Gohan in new form, like
Dragon Ball Super
are they going to bring in so this was something I had heard of buzz on the internet and people have been talking about. Are they going to bring in parts of GT with Gohan's training and make Gohan like he was in GT? Because if you remember in GT, Gohan didn't go through all the stuff that he went through he went through some of the stuff that he went through in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but he kept up his training in GT and was a lot stronger in GT than he is in Z and also in Super. He never stopped training. So that's the difference in that Gohan and this one. Even Trunks is a lot stronger in GT. So people are debating whether or not that's going to happen or not. Who knows? It depends on what Toriyama and what the rest of the Dragon Ball team decides to do with the show and what direction they decide to go in.
Well, I know definitely with the movie. Speaking of Trunks, they actually kind of he's much taller, of course, and of course Goten is much taller. So I think it's their forms right before they're about to go into GT It's kind of like
maybe,
their
but
GT
I
forms.
thought didn't they keep Trunks' hair blue like it was in Super?
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they did keep it blue.
And he was tall. Future Trunks is taller anyway. Future Trunks is. And remember, Future Trunks is still around. He's just not. He's still around. He's just not. You're not going to see him very often because they finished his arc and they left him in limbo, which I kind of don't like. That. Why, people? Everything about the Goku Black arc was okay, except for the ending. Everyone didn't like the ending. Why?
That is basically the one thing that Dragon Ball fans to this day are still upset about.
I don't like it, and the reason I say why is because I meant why have that ending? Like it would have been good if they had stopped. There was a certain point where they could have stopped. It would have been fine, but no, they had to like freaking mess Trunks's Future Trunks's whole
drag it out.
thing up. Like you had to mess up Trunks completely.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely in Dragon Ball superhero. Canon wise, I think this is like pre-GT, but then again,
well, so it's hard to say because a lot of this movie is not gonna be. It's not following the super story. It's a side story,
right?
So you can kind of think of this as just like it's pretty much just filler. Almost,
yeah, it is.
Because they're waiting until they can do the Dragon Ball Super, the rest of Dragon Ball Super. They're waiting to get probably to raise enough money to do Super, even if they don't already have enough money to do the rest of Super. And they're probably also waiting till they finish out the manga of Dragon Ball Super, so they have enough source material to actually do the anime. Now, I will say one thing: the fusions in Z and Dragon Ball Z on the anime and the fusions that you see in the manga are very different because with Dragon Ball Super, the fused Zamasu and also Goku Black was a lot different than he was in the manga. In the manga, he actually used Goku Super Saiyan form, whereas in the anime, he went Rose. He goes Rose in the manga, but not right away like he does in the anime. Also, they mentioned in the manga that Goku and Vegeta still had the advantage over Goku Black, even in the Rose form, because all it is just Goku with in Super Saiyan Blue form with different colored hair because of the Kai energy. True. So yeah, they Goku and Vegeta still had the advantage over him. They were a lot stronger than him. Whereas in the anime, that's a little different. They made Goku Black a tougher opponent just for it to be more interesting in the anime. Yeah. So keep that in mind when you're watching the anime.
Definitely.
Although I like how badass they did make Goku Black in the anime.
Oh yeah,
it was cool to see. Shout outs to
definitely.
Sean Schemmel for doing that voice, the Goku Black voice. That is incredible too. That takes some talent to really be able to to be a character but alter the character's voice ever so slightly to make it sound the way he did was really cool.
To make it more like a dark, gritty,
kind of darker, evil version of Goku
that doesn't really care.
Yeah,
that just wants to destroy stuff.
Yeah, that was cool. So
yeah, it's super cool. But yeah, basically, let me ask you a question. Dude.
Yeah. What's up?
So, if you had to choose between two of these fusions...
You mean Vegito or
Gogeta, which one would you go for?
I don't know. I kind of like them both for different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, I like Vegeta. I like the actual look of probably I like the look of probably a Vegito, right? Because I like the blue and orange.
Yeah.
But then I also like Gogeta because I don't necessarily like his outfit, but just his personality is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So like he seems kind of chill and pretty cool. So they're both cool in their own way. In terms of names, I prefer probably the Vegito name just because it sounds kind of cool, whereas Gogeta doesn't sound as cool, but
well, Gogeta is basically like the first part of Goku's name and the last part of Vegeta's
name. Yeah, which is okay, but Vegito just sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, Vegeta. Okay, honestly, I think that Vegito is basically that one cool kid in class that he has a ton of swag with.
His personality, right? So the coolest thing I actually like about Vegito is the arrogance. He has more Vegeta in his personality, which is actually kind of fun because if he's winning, if he's winning the fight, he gets really arrogant and he gets really
He'll
funny.
kick your butt and brag about it.
Exactly, that's like the best part of Whereas Gogeta doesn't do it as much. He does get arrogant, and he does get funny, but he's not like Vegito.
He's more like he's more focused on just getting the job done, like
exactly,
like kicking you out.
Exactly, yeah. Like he will kick your butt and finish you. He'll do that, but just not as he doesn't make it as glorious as like Vegito, or Vegito will actually, but also make fun of you while doing it.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, definitely. That would be him to a T.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I think just like you said, it's kind of hard to choose because I kind of like them both in a sense.
Yeah, there's like different things about both of them.
Yeah,
right,
definitely. Like on the one hand, I definitely do like Vegito's cockiness.
Yeah.
Especially during
you mean that arrogance, the pride thing?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like he knows he's good at what he's doing, even though sometimes it doesn't look like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly.
But he's actually really good at it.
Exactly.
He's good at bluffing, but sometimes he'll back it up.
Exactly.
So that's one of the cool things I like him. While Gogeta is basically goal oriented, so he's just focused he's pretty much focused on a specific goal and finding the opponent and taking care of them. So.
Yeah, exactly. So wait, dude, now there has been fights between these two characters before.
Yeah.
Because I believe in Dragon Ball Heroes, which is the other series you can watch, Dragon Ball Heroes, which is I don't know if that's official or if that's a fan made series. I can't remember.
Dragon Ball Heroes is basically like some extra content that you get with the video game. Yeah. So it's kind of like.
But they turned it into an anime. There's actually an anime called Dragon Ball Heroes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's like different timelines. Goku from different timelines, Vegeta from different timelines, and there are like fusions and fights that you see that you don't get to see in the anime. So yeah,
that's true.
I mean, like you can see a fight between the two. I don't know if they really. I'm not sure what they did for that kind of fight, but there is a fight out there with Vegito and Gogeta. Yeah, from different timelines.
Yeah, so. It's actually happened.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys really want to watch it, you can.
Yep, it's definitely up there.
Anyway,
so dude, did you have any final thoughts?
Well, the only thing I would say is that this is always going to be a big debate, right? It's always going to be controversial. It depends on who you are, and like, if you like both characters, you're probably not going to be able to pick one. Or if you like one more than the other, you're obviously going to have a side. You're going to pick Vegito over Gogeta or Gogeta over Vegito.
Yeah.
So it depends on who you like. And if you like them both, then you're really going to have a tough time. So there's always going to be a debate, and it always goes to who you like more. Now, the final decision, right, could also be based on if the creators get involved.
Right.
It could be based on their decision on who they like better.
Right.
But they also might not choose to actually do a fight between the two.
Exactly.
Because you may not see you might not see a actual like Goku Black fusion of like Vegeta
unless
you
want
a dark Vegeta and
unless
dark Goku.
you watch
I doubt
Heroes,
it.
Unless you watch Heroes. Maybe.
There have been theories about like doing someone has probably done it out there about doing Goku Black, only doing like there's been Gohan Black, there's been Vegito Black. There's been like a lot of different theories. So I don't think you're gonna ever see an actual Gogeta Black or actually a Vegito Black. But who knows if a fan does it or if someone does it, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always gonna be up to your personal opinion. There probably will never be a right or wrong answer. So yeah,
basically.
Anyway, guys.
Alrighty, so hopefully we pretty much wrapped up what other team you think you guys might be on.
Hopefully we have
granted your wish.
Yes.
Until next time.
Peace. Stay out of trouble.